Welcome everybody to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, ADHD and Attention Coach Jeff Copper, and we're here today to talk about mindsets and specifically organization. It's fascinating to me because people often say that those with ADHD are disorganized. If you understand the fundamentals of ADHD, that it's a self-regulation issue with a working memory challenge, and you begin to look at the patterns, you can begin to see a sense of organization. And one of the things that I'm going to illustrate here in my series on mindset is what you see is obvious depending on how your mind is set up to think. And as I've shared, when I work with those with ADHD, I look at them as being, they have some systems and they have legitimate reasons for what they do. Today I really want to highlight that notion of what I call ugly organizational systems, and I've written some articles and stuff about this. What I find is people's mind is set up to pay attention to organization as something pretty, rows and columns with labels and stuff like that. What I found, many with ADHD, is if you can put your hands on it, it's organized. Now often there's a pile of stuff. It looks disorganized and it's a mess, and many people mislabel that as disorganization. It's actually not. If a person can put their hands on it when they need it, I don't care what it looks like, it's organized. Now let's talk about why those with ADHD leave things out. It really goes back to a working memory issue. They have some difficulty with working memory. If you want to learn more about that, listen to my interview with Dr. Russell Barkley on Attention Talk Radio. Just Google Attention Talk Radio GPS and it will come up. We talk about it in detail. In simple terms, often clutter are visual reminders. Those with ADHD, they need a reminder out for them to remember to do something because of their taxed working memory. To put it away is out of sight, out of mind. The problem with many of them is they don't realize it's a working memory issue. So they leave many things out as reminders and it gets overwhelming and it becomes invisible. Coaching that is a whole nother thing that I'll get into at some other time, because you have to begin to manage visual stuff with scheduling, curtains, and anyway, won't get into that in detail. But needless to say is many of those with ADHD are organized, and even though it might be ugly, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not. Now, let's talk about this in a little bit more detail. Often a person with ADHD can't lay their hands on it exactly, but they actually know where it is, roughly in the office or in a drawer. Now understand that because of self-regulation and because of point of performance issues, they have to put work in either putting it away or finding it. Either way, work needs to be done. The efficiency of those with ADHD is, why put the work in filing it away if you actually never need to retrieve it? So often what they do is they skip that part and they do the work when they need to find it. Again, if I spend a lot of time taking all my billing statements and put them in the filing cabinet, and I put them there and I never need them, it was a useless exercise. But if I stick them in a pile, I only have to go find it when I need to. Again, it's a point of performance system that's really based off of motivation. And when a person with ADHD understands that and it's illuminated, trust me, you can manage it in very, very different ways. It'll also explain why, if they're dealing at it at point of performance, why other types of system won't really work. Anyway, at the end of the day, your head's probably spinning going, why? What do I do with regard to this? The issue really is to understand the existing system, the why it's there, and then to problem solve it, which is fundamentally what I find in coaching really helps you kind of move forward. Very interested in your thoughts on this video, this whole mindset concept, and actually acknowledging those with ADHD are organized, and sometimes the work is on the front side versus the back side. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We release a tip each week. And please comment on this video. I'm very anxious to hear your thoughts. With that, we hope you've enjoyed this edition of Attention Talk Video. Take care.